For over a decade, people have been speaking about the need to have diversity in the boardroom. And initially, this discussion was focused on gender diversity and ensuring that we had the right levels of women serving in the boardrooms. And for the vast majority of board appointments, we're seeing that that is no longer a major issue. There may still be a few, and I mean literally a few ASX organisations which haven't fully embraced gender diversity in the boardroom, but certainly across the board in the private sectors, not-for-profit, government, more often than not, you're almost at a 50-50 split. You may get some variables. You might have a lower number of chairs serving that are female, but that is starting to improve. And I think over the next few years, it really will be a non-discussion in many respects. But where we're sort of lacking and where we might have some issues around diversity would certainly be around cultural diversity, skill diversity, and they're the areas that we now need to potentially concentrate on to ensure we've got the right mix of people around the boardroom. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, why does diversity even matter? In my experience, the best operating boards, the best performing boards have a diverse group of people around the table from different walks of life, different socio-economic backgrounds, different schooling backgrounds, different education backgrounds. You've got people around the table who've lived different sort of types of life, seen things from different perspectives. And what we're looking for ultimately, and you can categorize it in a range of different ways, but what we're ultimately looking for is diversity of thought. Different thought processes, different ways of reaching different conclusions, different perspectives will create an interesting and informative dialogue in the boardroom. And in my experience, when you have diversity of thought, you get better outcomes, you get better decision making as a result, because you'll have that freedom to challenge an idea, challenge a paradigm, challenge a way of doing things over many years. And I think the diversity is what really brings it to the table. Now, I know many years ago there was quite a high profile IT telco company in Australia, and they brought in for the very first time a female marketing director onto the board of directors. And it was her questioning that totally changed the paradigm of that organisation. So one of the first questions she asked in the boardroom was, where are we at with our customer segmentation? Where are we at with our customer loyalty? What customers are buying what products in what order? And she would continually ask these marketing-based questions, which had never been asked at board level before in this organisation. Now, this might seem a bit, weird to you today, but 10 years ago, this was the paradigm. We had the board set up with investment bankers, with very successful business operators, but there was no one from a marketing perspective who was looking at it from a consumer perspective. And so this organisation literally started to pivot and pay more attention to its client base, more attention to its subscribers, customer loyalty, and programs were initiated as a result. And I believe it can all come back to that one individual who came into the boardroom and started asking different questions. A different type of discussion started to occur. So this is the new paradigm. So imagine now the new sort of shake-up would be maybe bringing someone in from an artificial intelligence perspective, a business ethics perspective, someone who understands cyber security, and bringing a different type of question to the boardroom. And yes, you may have had these resources reporting to the board up until now, but it is a totally different concept to have those questions being asked in the boardroom setting and coming from those different angles. So I think we're going to see a real shake-up. I think we'll also see quite a big shake-up in cultural diversity. I think that's still a big issue, especially when you consider Australia, its position in the Asia Pacific region and its position on a global stage. Very important to have people who are coming from different perspectives. But I really challenge you to think about your skill matrix, who's bringing what to the table. Think about the diversity of thought that's coming in, the types of questions that are being asked, who's challenging the board, who's really coming at it from a slightly different perspective. And, that's really the ultimate that you want to try and aim for in your boardroom, to get that diversity, the diversity of thought. And that, in my opinion, will lead to better decision making.